how do you convert a prospect into a lead? Well, this is, I was thinking about this because I have a slide somewhere in here saying that this is not for you short run or short term like affiliate spam, like up and then penalized. But it is, because you can build links this way as well. You know, content for link, the whole exchange there. So if your product then becomes content in that sense. But you need to offer people something valuable enough for them to leave some ID. And depending upon how they reach to you, they will want to give this ID based on that. And you can assume something. So this is one thing that is highly successful. If you just, based on referral, if they come from a social media source, or if they come from a search engine, especially if they come into your website through a buying keyword. This is the same kind of question really. It's like leave your email address so we can contact you again. That's what you want to get out of the thing. Now, in order to for them to leave their email address, you have the buyer coming into your website. They are interested in discounts weekly. Now, you get the social media traffic or the information seeker. You know, this is being a generalist. I know some buyers come in through social media and a lot of information comes in from search. But just with these two groups, the buyer and the information seeker, you just tweak or you change that, the word you use. Might be the same newsletter, but you just change that single word about, or the phrase that says either weekly updates of related articles or discount weekly newsletter. You know, the content in the discount weekly newsletter, it may be a related article and then you have one little thing with the discounts for that week. You know, it might be even so that you have the same newsletter here, but you just allow them to enter it in two different ways. Now we have them as leads. And I usually use this when I'm trying to sell why social media is something that people should put money into. Because with regards to leads, we already have something. We already know who these people are that enters through the social media websites. If it's from Facebook, we have their Facebook ID, we have some kind of relationship built to them. Or if it is a bought CRM, and I'm not saying bought email addresses because I actually stuff them into here. Because we know nothing about their preferences, which is where you end up here. So, if you engage in social media, you will always be able to extract a higher value out of the traffic that you get to your website, because each one of those people that come to your website is already a lead to you. You can track them, you can find them, and you can do whatever you promised to do to them by tracking them down. So, but the whole definition of a lead here is you know who they are, you know what they're interested about, and you know how to contact them. That's the whole basis for a lead. Now, you know, this is sort of like kicking in open doors, I guess. But either you give them the best offer. If you want to convert someone from a lead to a customer, you give them the best offer. It sort of says itself, you know. Or you can establish a relationship with them, which doesn't really say itself because we don't like to be cynical, at least not in the open. But this is a lot what this book talks about. It's the irrational stuff that happens in our brain that precedes an economic decision. It's the whole thing about yes sales, you know. Buy now or pay like 10 times more and pay it during like 6 months. It's extremely irrational behavior to say yes to the payoff plan because you pay more for the same shit. So, but people still do, because the now value to me, the perceived now value to me of this product is greater than the actual little micropayment I have to pay for so long and so long and so long and so long. So people choose that. Now there's also another part of that, like that example, which is the yes salesman. Old salespeople that sold vacuum cleaners before, they used to have a very, very good plan when they went out to sell in the houses. They used to say, pose this question, which was, do you want to pay now or in 30 days? They never gave the option, do you want to pay now or never? You know? And that's also extremely important when you're posing a question like this. You say, do you want to pay now or in some other way? Also extremely. Now, this thing comes into the picture. And think about it, you're on your way to the movies and you bought the movie tickets and you're very excited about it, and your friend calls and you know, you pick up the phone. You say, hi, yeah, I'm going to see this movie by some bloke somewhere. And your friend goes like, oh, bad choice, you know? Right there, right then, your stomach tells you that, ooh, that thing that I was really excited about previously, now someone that I have an inbound relationship with that usually coheres with my, you know, sense of like or well-being, that person is now telling me that I've done a bad decision. That will affect my will or want or desire to go see this film. The same thing is if you're a big company and you start engaging in relations with your customers and talking to them, you know, you don't have to be nice even, you just have to talk to them and tell them like, no, this is how it is, this is the way we told you that it was supposed to be, yada yada yada. You just start engaging your crowd. You will build some kind of relationship to them. And relationships are extremely effective in making people make irrational economic decisions. You know, you can say, hey, trust me, even though this product is 5 times as expensive as this one will still, you know, give you the best well-being. You will be able to walk around with this in town and go like, hey, this is my computer. And I bought it, and it's 5 times as more expensive than the other one that was 5 times less expensive. And they can do the exact same things, but this one, I know I gain the social status of carrying it around. I get I bought it because this dude who was an expert or who's my close friend already has it, and so we can be alike, we can be a crew, we can be a tribe. Anyways. That's a bit about relationships. So a relationship starts really messing with our heads in a good way for a company, because you can charge more for the same thing. So now we have them as a customer, and you know, it's really all about this. The offer or the relationship, that's what makes them, gives them like the status of being a customer. And you see here we climbed a bit up in the investment in time or money. Ladder, it's not a ladder, it's an arrow, but yeah, either way, it's up there somewhere and it's higher than down here, so must mean it's better, right? But you know what they want, and it's more specifically, you know what they want to buy. So your price, you want your price to be the highest of anyone, and yet you want to offer the correct product out of all the products available. Now you see I'm getting sidetracked. Out of all the products available that are similar, you want to be able to sell your product at the highest price, but still turn them over more than any one of your competitors. Now, this is where it starts getting tricky, and you know, based on relationships like I've always had, so it's difficult for me to change into. I've always had a PC, so it's difficult for me to change into a Mac. I've always had Ericsson cell phone, so I would never buy a Nokia. It's those like inbound things that we start seeing here with returning visitors, or returning links for that sake. You know, you have those link people out there that will always link to you whatever you do, you know. You just have to tell them like, now this is the best, hottest thing around, and they will spray links at you. You know that regardless, and they will retweet you. They won't even read the post. They will just, you know, as soon as you get out there, they know that usually you are relevant, so they just go ba-bam, send it out again.